Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I notice, well, first I must say, let me thank Novia and the Jamaica Observer for inviting me and my team here to speak to this audience about some of the things that we do, also where it all started, and being a member company in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I will not give you too much as to where we're going, but at least I can give you a little insight. I noticed, PJ, that this morning the session was started with you, the morning session, and I would have thought that Novia, for the afternoon session, you would have started with the female or a female, but I guess it is now the time where we know of a king. And given that we're still under that stage, I guess maybe that's one of the reasons. But the fact is that being a country boy, yes, I'm not from the city, being a country boy, we tend to adapt to different things within the city. And I always like to present to young people because I recall when I was at Clarendon College in 1983, there was a gentleman by the name of George Abrams who was the head of marketing and advertising at the Real Navy Group. And he brought us in for a session like this. And I still remember it and the mark that it has made on my life. Novia has asked me to make my presentation in different parts. So I'll swiftly go through where I'm from. I'm a country boy. I'm from Southeast Clarendon, a little district by the name of Moores. I went to an all-age school. I sat common entrance in 1983, and surprisingly, I was bright because I was the only boy and the only person who got a seat to the Clarendon College at the time. Went to Clarendon College, which was the place to be, and still is the place to be in central Jamaica. Between 83 to 89, where I sat CXCs, and I did fairly well. I was at a session, and the head of a bank spoke that she got 3 CFCs. I got a little more than 3 at that time, but I failed English language. So if you hear a little break and nervousness, it's because of that, because I'm still haven't recovered. But I still pass English language, and my friend who is in the room, which I will not mention at this stage, also helped me to pass my English language exams at university. I decided that I want to leave country. I never want to stay in Clarendon because I only got electricity in 1989. So, you know, we had a little delco here and there because we were rich for a little delco. And we understand the roots of washing and the river. But I want to see the light. So I went to Excelsior Community College and I share this because you ought to know that it is not where you're from, it's not what you do, but it's what you know that you must do to get to where you are. At Clarendon College, I want to become a dentist. But after doing biology and get accustomed to a little spill of blood, I said, nah. So I did a combination of the sciences and the business. I never did accounting at high school, but I recognized that I want to become an accountant right thereafter. So I did O-level accounting 1 year, A-level accounting 2 years, and upon completion of the accounting diploma program at Excelsior Community College, I left there as the top of the class. I got 6 of the 7 awards. I got A-level accounting with a B, I got A-level economics. I got A-level management of business. And I was on my way to become an accountant in only 2 years. Right thereafter, 1991, I started working as a summer student at JPS as an accounting clerk at the bottom. And in 1992, I got enrolled at the University of the West Indies in the bachelor's degree program in accounting special. And I recall that fateful August morning, we were there registering, and I was in the line registering, and I was in the line registering, and I felt somebody kick the back of my left leg. I turned around, and I recognized that somebody was beside me, and I was just smiling. And I walked a little more, the person kicked my right foot and said, "Country boy, where I register for?" I turned around, and the feisty person that I was, I wanted to say something, but the person started to laugh, and it deflates me. And today, it is my friend for 30 years, my business partner, and my best friend, Derrick Cotterell. So it went further. I got 1C at university, and it is a C. It was the only course that Derrick and I didn't do. Derrick never used to come to class, but I used to go to class, but I was good at notes taking. So we would sit in the evening and share notes and would work through everything. And the relationship continues. I did both a bachelor's in accounting and a master's in accounting. I then did a CPA in the state of Georgia. My dear cousin Carlton engineered that program for me. And after that, I went into the field of working full time. But remember, no, after that, or throughout that time, I worked full time and I studied full time. I worked full time at JPS for a master's degree, which was a full-time master's degree, and a bachelor's degree, because Derrick insisted that we are not going to spend 5 years to do a bachelor's program. So I did a master's and a bachelor's in 5 years, full-time, and we never had bad grades. Right thereafter, that's my journey. This is where it matters. So, working, getting the necessary qualification, dedications, and you having a dream, it will happen. So, driving what you want to drive now, that's the end point. That's the end point. You have to put in that sweat equity. You have to put in the work. So I was at JPS, and I've got many promotions. Remember I said I started from the base as a clerk. When I left there in 2002, I was a part of the executive management unit that dealt specifically with treasury, finance, and management of all the international funded programs, the IDB, the IFC programs at JPS. And I was just in my early 30s. In fact, I was 29. And to date, I still is one of the few persons that have moved from banking, moved from utility into banking, but also at the top of banking. Because I went into the bank as the treasurer of RBTT Bank, which was just acquired by the Trinidad company, RBTT. And not only didn't I held a Jamaica position, I held regional positions. So I was the regional treasurer for the North. I was the head of Asset and Liability Committee for the group. I was a member of the group investment committee, which was the committee within the group. And upon the changes in the regulations in Jamaica, I was the one who gave all the assets, all the liabilities, with $3 million in cash to form the investment company. That investment company, 6 years after, was sold at huge profits, huge profits. And it was time for me to go, because life also taught you that you must know when to move. You must see that where I am is not where I want to be. And so, upon the sale to RBC, they asked me, come, let's move to Canada. I said, no, Canada is not where I want to go. And I went to finish in school, where I went to the University of Pennsylvania to do some important things that I thought was good for me. And I came back and worked with First Global Financial Service as a senior vice president. And I was called on the 1st of April after we had a very nice function that Thursday night, Jamaica Chamber of Commerce dinner banquet. And remember, I came back, I was recruited back home. And I was told on that morning, it was Tom FOODIE, the 1st of April, that your position was made redundant. I said, what? But again, every disappointment always brings forth an opportunity. And that opportunity led me to the job. I would say the job led me to the experience of my lifetime. Derrick trading. Remember, my friend of 30 years started that company back in 1998. But importantly, in everything you do, your faith is important, and also you must be anchored by good family structures and systems. Because there are days when things look gloomy, peachy. There are days when things look as if it is the end of the world. But when you're able to rock back on those beliefs and those structures, you'll be good. Anybody know this group of company? Yes. This company started in 1998 by my friend Derrick. Right, Derrick? And the story is there for you scholars to Google it. We started with a container of peas and some sugar. And today this is the story. When I joined the company, we were doing about just under $2 billion in revenue. Today, as a group of companies, we're doing $22 or $23 billion in different currencies. We are the only company thus far that has 2 companies on the Junior Stock Exchange. We are the only company on the Junior Stock Exchange that has a diversification of revenue in different markets. We are the only company that a manufacturing plant cannot operate with us. So we would have done, since I am there, when I got there, Derrick and myself share the same decks. I came in as the finance director and corporate planner. We wrote the strategic planning. We revised the strategic plan, even though I was an external director between 2006. I also remember when I was supposed to join Derrick in business, he came to my house one Sunday and he told my wife then that, are you willing to let Ian join the company. Because if you are not willing, I won't have him, because I know that he's not going to live in America. And he was right. I joined the company as I said, the finance director and the corporate planner. And the first remit that Derrick said to me, you must prepare the company to be listed on the junior market of the stock exchange in a year. He said, in a year. I said, this man is a madman. Because there are so many checklist boxes that you must check. Well, we were ready within the year. Unfortunately, the market wasn't ready for us at the time. We listed in December 2013, and we have made 13 strategic acquisitions up to 2022. 13 strategic acquisitions. We have raised the largest levels of capital on the junior market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange in 2021, which is in 2021. Remember, 2020 was COVID. And in January 2021, we would have raised $4.2 billion on the junior market of the stock exchange. Our intention was to raise $3.5 billion. Our subscription was about $7.2 billion. This is a Jamaican company. And remember where it started. So, COVID never inhibited our growth because we knew what we were about, we knew where we were going, we knew what we must do. We would have set the platform with the right levels of teamwork and approaches in order for us to get there. And I think those are some of the reasons why our latest acquisition was Arosa Trading back in 2022. Spice Ale would have bought 2021. And this is one of the brave moves we made.
One-stop shop. You come here, you get everything. One-stop shop.
So, my chairman has a vision. And within our first strategic plan, the strategy number one was for us to diversify our revenue so that at least 40% of our revenue is earned external. As a result of this vision, we're always looking for opportunities, whether it's outside of, so look at it, we're in food, we're in manufacturing, we're in flavors, we're in pallets, we're in supermarkets, we're in distribution. Anybody know that Derrick is the largest distributor for Nestle products? Anybody knows that sun powder is distributed exclusively by Derrick Trading? Anybody knows that Golden brands are distributed exclusively by Derrick Trading? Anybody knows that Arosa is a 100% owned company of Derrick? Anybody knows that Woodcats that supply the pallet industry is a 100% owned by Derrick? Anybody knows that all the major juice companies, for example, Ting and other flavors, are flavors that are manufactured by Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, which is a Derrick owned company. So when my chairman says to us that our plans should be so resilient, so that even COVID cannot penetrate it. That's what we do. Sampars, select grocers. So we're in manufacturing, we're in distribution, and we're in retail, both local and overseas. So it means that we would have insulated ourselves so that if there's an issue here and we're impacted, PJ, we know what entertainment went through 2 years. The food industry was booming. Our pallets industry was down. Our flavors industry was down. But the fragrances for sanitizer and all the things were up. New York was going through its issues, but we were able to survive. So some of the principles which nobody asked me to speak to is, what do we do in order to expand? What do we do? So you must have a plan. And within your plan, it's a defined plan. It's not a head plan. It must be a written plan. And there must be a strategic plan, and there must always be a business operational plan. And that plan, those plans must be continuously improved over time. You must be able to pivot. You must be able to see what works, substantiated by numbers, do the necessary variance and analysis, and never be afraid of culling and making changes. So growth means that you must define your competitive space. Do I want to operate in a market whereby I will always be on the ground? Is 10% growth the growth that I want to see? Is my return on equity 5% when the hurdle rate based on what my board establishes 12%? And because of all of those issues, then you will have to look at where we are now within our competitive position and look to see what your future objectives will be and craft those plans, expansion plans around those objectives. The issue of due diligence. Due diligence is one of those things that everybody does. But as an organization, you'll have to look at a due diligence from the culture, financial, the competitiveness, the people, capital. How do I balance my risk now as against when I merge or when I complete an acquisition? Because remember, to do it now is important, but when you get into bed with somebody, it is different. And that difference will help you, as my friend Kim will always say, to elevate and to elevate to the point whereby you'll get the returns that you desire. In marketing, there are the 4 P's. In merger and acquisition, it's the 4 C's. Compensate, communicate, care, and culling. Because what? And culling is very important. Because that emotional side to it is always there. But it may not be producing the returns that you expect. And we'll continue to tag along with it, whereby it is quote unquote the dog within the portfolio. But managing with numbers always allows you to see what is not performing. And you must be emotional enough to make that decision. One of the things, Derrick, you hear I call Derrick's name a lot. Because other than he's my friend and he's the CEO, he has a conscience when we're talking on matters. And he always say, he will not tell me no, he will say, boy, Ian, take another look at it. Take another look at it, man. Because, you know, as the finance man, my first instinct is about the returns. My first instinct would be about the return. Brethren will spend this amount of money on this and not seeing the thing going in and waiting on this and it's just not moving in the direction that I want. Just wait a little bit. Grace Kennedy is 100 odd years old. And they are not where they are today. They started somewhere. We spoke about diversification of our revenue streams, and that's one of the reasons why we go overseas. You go into a market which is huge. We operate in Brooklyn. We operate in Brooklyn terminal marketing. It is the destination. Jamaica has 3 million people. Brooklyn and that diaspora, we have about maybe 3-4 million Jamaicans there. And since we supply the Caribbean and the African market there, that may be another 10 million they combine. So if we're selling 3% or 0.01% of that population, it's bigger than the revenue that's coming in from Jamaica. In addition to that, the impact from our currency stability, when we consolidate with that flows coming into Jamaica, you'll see the movement in our financial returns and your financial. I'm sure we have a lot of shareholders here today, so they'll understand the extent to where we are going. And we're not there for just only one store. We're in 40,000 square foot there. We operate a supermarket and also a cash and carry that supplies the Caribbean and African market. And the average ticket spend for an African is $700 to $800 for their home. They buy boxes of yams, slabs of meats, and that's their place of choice. We supply most of the Caribbean restaurants within the tri-state area. We deliver, and we intend to grow. We intend to grow. Access to capital and talent. It is one of our largest assets is our people. And if you do not invest in your people, or you do not acquire the right talent, then your business will not grow. We always say we like to hire bright people. People are bright. Our people are brighter than us. Because they're the ones, and we like to hire young people too. No disrespect, PJ. But the truth is that they will challenge us, and they will allow you to think. Oh, no, man, we remove the box. Yeah, but they'll allow you to think and they will challenge you. And it is important that you choose your expansion strategy based on location, location, location. Location, access. Location, access to product. Location in terms of stability. Location in terms of little or no crime. Location in terms of your inbound transportation. Location, safety. Location, the ability of your people to get to work. That is completely important. We spoke about market size. And remember, to date, we have not go looking for a business to buy. But the issue of a business that does not have succession planning always look to us, because our company has about 3 different levels of succession planning. I know who's going to replace me. So if I should drop dead tomorrow, God forbid, there's somebody who's there. And the same thing for Derrick. And the same thing for different persons within the group. Because we are not building an organization that is dependent on us alone. We're building an organization that has perpetuity, will continue to perpetuity. So if the culture that we establish is one which there is continuous growth, there is continuous development, there's continuous hiring of people that will adapt to your culture. Because remember, culture is important. Because there are some people who just cannot fit into your culture, and you have to recognize that. But culture is important, right? But if there's no succession planning in your business, then in short order, you have a big problem. We don't have that problem at Derrick, and we will not have that problem. You see, decision without data, an important data analysis, is worthless. So if I'm looking at your sales, and I say your price to earning ratio is this, or we're buying the valuation speaks to something, and you do not know what makes up that valuation, or the approaches that they've taken, whether it's the PE ratio, or they're using the EBITDA ratio, or they're using the future cash flow ratios, then you see something and something just come to you, a number just come to you with a valuation, you're going to say, what is this? But if the seller is not in a position to make the necessary clarification to the points that you would have raised in you doing your due diligence and your analysis, then you're in a better position. I remember when we were buying a specific company, Derrick is always a back of the envelope man. So he'll take an envelope and he'll say, boy, Ian, we're going to look on it this way. And we write down a few things and we say, oh, if the sales is this and the cost is this, we can save some expenses here. And the profitability is here. And if we start to move this year, we can. What's the price again? Oh, that can't work. 9 out of 10 points. That's where we start. And we have always gotten to a position because of that approach, with the deep diving, and we have done the acquisitions. But the truth is, if you do not get the base data and know what you're looking for the base data, and also see exactly where you're able to immediately, upon acquisition, make specific changes to derive better outcomes, then maybe that's not the best thing to do at the time. I use this phrase, creation of the team to analyze market, size and trends, when we propose to enter a market that operates differently from our market. Many companies go into different markets, and because they do not understand the culture, they do not understand the legal framework, because they do not understand the labor laws, because they do not understand the diversity of people that is there, often makes those decisions. And the end game is that you spend a lot of money, you have non-compete clauses which are harmless, and you end up fail. Our approach during the due diligence for our food savers, Derrick and I will go together, we'll tag team, one will stay, we'll look to see what the operations are like, we'll look to see where there are gaps, we'll set up a few other things, because mystery shopping is very important. Mystery shopping always tell you who to employ post-acquisition, because they don't know who you are or who you are associated with. So you'll understand that this person is a thief, this person like runnings, this person, I'm lazy. I recall I took my 14-year-old son to New York with me to work for the summer. And after a day, he said to me, you know, Daddy, we need to get rid of this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, down on the floor. And I said, why? He said that he's lazy and they're watching everybody. He's there. They don't know who he is. He's lifting up boxes. Because that's one of the other things Derrick and I do. Our kids start in the belly of the business. In the belly of the business. They must lift up box, they must stock supermarket shelves, they must move up. But they don't have a right to be at the top without understanding the business. And I noticed that's what Carlton also does with his daughter at Carl's. And that's what we do. But the truth is, if you don't do some of those informal things, then you're going to have issues. But our New York experience is that during COVID, we were there from 2019 doing our due diligence. I remember caught COVID in March 2020. And I was there doing due diligence. When I came back to Jamaica, I came back on the 12th, the morning of the 12th of March. The country was shut down the 13th. And the country reopened in May. And Derrick and I, plus the due diligence team, tag team. And we closed the acquisition on the 30th of September 2020. So COVID never stopped us. We saw COVID as not the lazy time, like some people saw it. We embraced the opportunities. We were looking for opportunities because there will be life after COVID. And in an age where there's technology and in a digital age, access to specific information can be harnessed. And that's what we did during COVID with our acquisition. So we have completed Food Saver in September 2020. We have completed Spice Hill acquisition in November 2021, and we would have completed Arosa in March 2022. Plus, we will opening in a few more weeks the largest single supermarket in Jamaica / Central Jamaica, which is Sled Grocers in the Millennium Mall in Mayfair, which is So the truth is, why market size is important, we're going to grow here and we're going to grow outside of Jamaica. Why is location is important? We're growing into areas that we think will give us the uptick that we require. Our access to product and product knowledge is based on the people that we employ, the levels of training. And I tell you, COVID never stopped my chairman from attending trade shows, because that's where you're going to get knowledge. That's where you're going to make the difference. And importantly, we do not intend to buy a business and have it on the same scale. If we are not able to scale that business exponentially when we buy it, we're not going to buy it. And I'm sure you understand what I'm saying about our New York operation. It must fit within the scale. Due diligence, there are always challenges. And many of the challenges are the numbers and everything. It's about people issues. It's about culture differences. It's about secrecy. I don't think the farmer owner is going to give you all that you need. Some of it you're going to have to learn, and you will learn the hard way. But that's the reason why the legal framework is so structured that you can be protected. So while there's our challenges, it is good to know that these are challenges. But it is also important that you put the framework in place so that you can be protected. You know what is important? If you're doing a due diligence and people see, employees see that the team is a genuine, they're going to talk. And they're going to say to you, look at this. Or, drop a little paper with a few questions. Because it is important. It is important. So, in wrapping up, talent and culture issues, they are big, especially when you are doing overseas acquisition. The cost of operating in other jurisdictions is also extremely expensive. The legal cost here for insurance in Jamaica is maybe a fraction of that which is operating in one single location outside of Jamaica because public liability, etc., etc. Life, work balance, fatigue, and burnout is real. It is real. And if you do not manage yourself, especially in these acquisitions and these level of expansion, you run the risk, especially people at the top, run the risk of, I will say, you have to learn how to pivot. And you have to learn how to make changes on the fly. Yes, it happens. It happens. But am I going to wait to make a bad situation a worse situation? No. I'm going to salvage because the first point is the best point. You also have to learn how to make difficult decisions and having difficult conversation with people and change your processes. You must learn how to do that. And then, how to sustain and grow this relationship once the acquisition is complete, because at that point it's your baby. Credit post-acquisition, especially in large markets where there are credit bureaus, are pivotal to your growth. And then the big one, how do you fund your gaps whilst the recapitalization of the business. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
I'm going to ask you to make a note of your questions until after Derrick's presentation, if you don't mind, Ian, and then we'll just do that. Ian made mention of the fact that Derrick likes to take out an envelope and look. He doesn't really say anything. We noticed this a few weeks ago. We have a section of the Observer Table Talk Food Awards for new food items. So we had 8 presenters. So Ian sent Derrick. So Derrick just sits there. He's nice to everybody. Yeah, this one is nice. Yeah, we need this. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, which one does he really like? Which one is going to win? Surprise, surprise when you told me, because you're not going to get anything out of it. Talking about a brilliant. I would like to go to Vegas with him and sit on the gambling table with him, let's say, because they'll call his bluff, right? So I asked Derrick to share with us this afternoon what he looks for when he's looking to expand, thinking about taking a product overseas. Because the winner this year at our Table Talk Food Awards of the best new local product will find space on the supermarket shelf overseas. That's what we do at the Observer. Did I ask a question again? Anybody else? So, Derrick, I asked Derrick to share with us, what does he look for? Packaging, labeling, do we need to do this? We also learned about font size as well, and what colours to use for graphic. I was sitting beside him and I said to myself, we need to have him on board. So thank you very much, because I know you're super busy. And let's just say that, time come here. You've had, Derrick, you've had Ian too long for your best friend. You need to elevate, right, Kim? So don't forget, write the questions down for Ian, so that as soon as Derrick is finished, you have them.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Well, for those of you who want to leave, you can't. Great. So you're stuck with me for the next 3 hours. Oh, thankfully I'm not that boring. I hope. Nova asked me to make a little presentation on, let us say, commercializing your product. Let me start off by saying, Nova, this food awards and the entire food program that you run at the Observer is unparalleled in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. And I'd like us all to give Nova and her team a round of applause. And you don't know this yet, Nova, but out of this program, it's going to actually do a lot for Jamaica. You haven't seen it yet, but hopefully after the speech, we'll inspire the right people and we'll begin to see some of the results. So let me start off by saying that in years 2008, 2012, and 2016 at the Olympics was a mixed feeling for me. We were all very happy that Jamaica was dominating on the tracks. We had the fastest man in the world, the fastest woman in the world. In fact, from the last 3 Olympics, Jamaica in the 100 meter for women, we have won all the medals except for 2. So of a possible 12 medals, we won 10. That's how Jamaicans have been dominant on the track. But my disappointment was that for all the recognition that Jamaica was getting on the world stage, we didn't have anything to sell. We had nothing to sell. When we went to London in 2012, we could have taken over the entire world. We had nothing to sell. Why are Jamaicans so fast? What product is it that they use products in Jamaica that our Jamaicans used to be so fast. Don't tell me yam, because we can't sell yam. I don't know if you get where I'm going. We have these wonderful opportunities, but we're not taking advantage of it. Now, the Observer Food Award is a wonderful opportunity for us to present our products in an organized way, to get professionals to tell us how good our products is or what we need to work on our products. And I'm making this question over the winner of the award and probably the product with the most potential. We're willing to give it forecast and give it a platform internationally. Okay? Going forward. Not just this year. We produce a lot of good products here in Jamaica. I kid you not, lots of good products. But we're known as a company, as a country that produces samples. So the first thing I want to say to this audience is, we have got an entrepreneurs here. I see a lot of young people here. Which school are you guys going to? That uniform, what school is that? Huh? Boys don't. They look like girls to me. Well, Boys Town is looking up, they have girls now. So you are from Boys Town too? University of? Wonderful. Glad to you see Boys Town here at the University of Technology. Now, the world is so small that you can stay right here in Jamaica and have an international product or international product. You don't need to be Jamaica. You don't need to have a vision. That's where it starts. Right? You don't even have to be Jamaica. So whenever you're thinking of producing any product, and we're partial to food because it's a food award, I want you to think big. I want you to think how can the product be scalable. We're here to talk about the product being scalable. So I know a lot of times we say we want to have our products that it must be made of all natural products. Let's say it's going to be tamarind, or it's going to be natural passion fruit. Is that available right through the year? Is that available all the time? If that product takes off, can you replicate it? Can you find those sorts of raw materials? These are stuff you want to think about when you're going to be putting your products together and you want to choose the ingredients. Because to be scalable, you have to be able to, let's say the product takes off. Can you just rely on fresh fruit, or you have to get concentrates? Do you get juice concentrates? This you may have to import. This you maybe have to take it from farmers here in Jamaica, but you can use it in a concentrated form. So when you're thinking of growing your business, you have to think, is it scalable? Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Right. I'm not competing with the rain, so I'm talking loud. The rain is pretty loud. But if you're not hearing me, just raise your hand so I can make you hear me better. You're not hearing me? Not very clear? You may have to move your seat. Okay. Now, having made your product, and I know a lot of you will go to the SRC and get SRC will help you with the products. You have anybody who have made any product here? Anybody ever used the SRC, Scientific Research Council? Nobody? Anybody have an idea of a product they want to make and don't know how to go about it? Okay. I'm talking to somebody now. Now, it's important that you get the product, a nice prototype of the product. The SRC is pretty good, and I'm sure you guys are doing it too. That will help you to get a nice prototype of your product, so it looks presentable and it can be consistent. It's very important that if you're going to make your product on a mass scale, it is consistent. So if you pick up one bottle of Coke here in Jamaica, or if you pick up a Coke in the United States, or anywhere, it's pretty much that's what science does to make your products consistent. Now, it's important that we understand a little bit about food science. And we're in the information age, so you don't have to go to school. It's great to go to UTech. But I know what we are food technologists mostly, right? Right. So they understand food science. But it's important that even if you don't get an opportunity to go to UTech, that you go to YouTube, look up some stuff on food science, because it's important that you understand the ingredients that you put into your product. Well, having done that, and you have a great product, then comes the real work. Because there are tons of great products out there that just don't make it. You have to know how to present that product to the market. And that's what I want to spend another 5 minutes or so say to you. How do you present that product to the market? Packaging is made not just to look nice on the shelf, but first of all, the first real aim of packaging is to protect the product. Okay? So you want to ensure that your packaging is doing that, protecting the product. You want to seal it in for freshness. So some people go as far as to make it vacuum, use a vacuum seal. Some people keep it chilled, some people keep it frozen. Some people use different preservatives so that they can keep the freshness of the product. Because you want to make sure that your product is the same quality it is right up to the best before date. You know, if I didn't say expired, I said best before, right? Because that's what you work with, best before. So the packaging is one of the major things that helps with that. Preservatives, yes, and there are natural preservatives like salt and vinegar, alcohol, honey, and a lot of other people use honey. But honey is one of those products that cannot spoil. You know a lot of products that preserve their products with honey. That's an opportunity. So having decided on your packaging, first thing, like I said, is to make sure that it's protecting the product. But having the product being protected is not enough. You need to ensure that your packaging itself, what the message you want to portray, what is the feeling you want the consumer to have when he handles your product. It is a feeling of nostalgia, a home feeling. It's a feeling of exciting. A lot of beverages will use bright, exciting colors. You see that a lot in beverages, right? Is it something you want to look organic and natural and just nice and clean? Is that what is the feeling that you want the consumer to have? And what I'm going to say to you is, it's very rare that you can be a very good person at making the product, coming up with the design of the product, making the product, and be excellent also at the packaging. It's a very rare skill. That's a very rare combination of skills. So I'm suggesting that from very early you get help. Help is out there. There are people who are professionals, but they don't want to be expensive, right? That you can get the right labels and packaging and understand colors, right? Colors, different colors give different feelings. Let me give you an example. You'll find that red is probably the most popular color that is used in marketing, right? Why? Why is that so? Huh? It pops, right? And it's vibrant and it's bright and it's red and yellow are the first two colors you're going to see, right? Then people use colors like black and purple to give you a feeling of upscale and premium. So you get a black card. Like if you shop at Select Grocers, your loyalty card is a black card, right? Everybody can then have a black card. You know what I mean? It is even a grocery card. So different colors give different feelings. If you use green, green is about plants and freshness and that kind of stuff. So you may not be an expert at it. I don't expect you to be an expert at all of it. But seek knowledge. Don't just put your product in any packages. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to do everything myself and I'm going to design the label, I'm going to do everything. If you're thinking big, then you need to get some outside expertise. But more than anything else, I'm not here to speak long today. But more than anything else, what I want to encourage you to do is to start. Too many ideas end up being inside of you and stay there. Do not go for perfection at first. I do not know the product that starts out imperfect and then never improves. I've never seen a product like that. But it's important that you start. Do not go to your grave with all of your ideas. Leave some with us here. Right? You may just have. You see, Jamaica is a very small country. Jamaica is a very big, small country. We are a very small country. We have 3 million people that is resident on the island. And the truth is, it upsets me a little bit when I hear about poor people in Jamaica, because there's no reason why we should have anybody poor in Jamaica. We have an abundance of riches. But I want to challenge us to begin to think that way and think big. The idea for the next great world product can be sitting in this room. It can be sitting right in this room. I'm telling you. It can be a beverage. It can be whatever. It can be a bread. You know, as simple to take it. It can be, yeah, I'm going to say with food. It can be any food product. It can be our bulla that you can find and present and package in a different way. Right? That the world loves bulla. And I use that as an example. That product I don't even rate in Jamaica. I mean, bulla is a cheap product, but have the world tasted bulla? You know? Have the world tasted Cotterell? I mean, really seriously, have the world even begun to taste apple? Right? So we can, if you, let me give you an idea. I'll give you one of my ideas, because I would like to see it come to fruition. Rum punch, which is the great, I mean, rum punch, if you make a rum punch and use Jamaican white rum, everybody in the room goes crazy over it. Do we have a Jamaican rum punch? We don't. Why can't you design a Jamaican rum punch? If you use Jamaican flavors and make the packaging and the feeling around it so exciting that we can become bigger than Red Stripe beer and thing and Appleton rum, which are big products, but they're not big yet. I mean, compared to Coke and Pepsi and Bacardi, those are even bigger products. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You with me, guys? Yes. I know you're hearing me now because the rain has settled down. So what I'm encouraging you to do is to, those products that you have inside of you, try it. Try it. Make a little scale of it. Get it out there in the market. Learn from it. Improve it. And who knows? It may just be the next world product. And that may be the product that can employ 50,000 Jamaicans and help to take Jamaica out of this little hitch that we have at the car, poverty. Because the word I don't like, you know what I mean? I don't like that word. Everybody with me? Yes. So do you have your commitment that you're going to not go to your grave with your ideas? Yes. Do you have your commitment? Yes. And I'm saying, make the product. I will, whatever help that you require, and if I can help, I'm volunteering to help to get you that product commercialized, to get it to the next stage. I'm volunteering to help because we'll all benefit from it. All right? So with that commitment, I leave you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. Would you like to join Derrick on stage and questions? I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Good afternoon, Ian, my friend, the Dermont team. Okay, so this is a food awards event. So you've been speaking about the recipes and the ingredients, but I cannot cook. I'm an investor. So I know that on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, there's certain metrics that I look at to grow my money. And I want to talk about how is Derrick and Caribbean Flavors, what are the metrics that a student would look for in order to take a small sum every month and industry so their money could grow. So let me start here off, Ian. Return on equity. Yeah, that talks about how my money is being taken care of by you. Yeah, so let's start there.
All right. You see, you have to understand, Dennis is my friend. In fact, my first Gina, no, my first
No, observer.
Observer article back
No,
in,
you mean 6 months ago?
in
No,
no,
don't
no,
age me.
no, I'm going to say, back in 2002,
Oh,
when I was in the financial services, my first article was done by Denise.
okay.
So I knew that this question was coming because she's very big on metrics. The fact is, return on equity, while it's numeric, is also a perspective
Yes.
because it is also what you want to achieve over a certain spectrum. You may earn 400% today, but it's not sustainable.
Right.
However, you may earn a steady 10% per annum over an extended period of time.
Right.
And that benchmarking that to international standards as well as to be taking into account inflation, you'll be able to determine the returns you want. So it's a matter of you taking that perspective, you take out those factors which creates those peaks and troughs,
Yeah.
and then you put it in with the model. The other aspect to it, you may be also earning 5%, but you're earning that 5% with a company that is in a growth mode.
Right.
So that 5% today, based on the capital that you'd have invested and the revenue that that company is generating at that moment, in another 5 years, the multiplier effect of that capital will allow you to earn 20% or 25% per annum. And if you're saying that, Derrick is in a growth mode.
All right, hold on.
Right? Because I know where you're going. So let me
You're-
just tell you, we are in a growth mode,
Yes.
and as a result of that, we continue to reinvest through
Right.
acquisition, through people, and through our technology system so that in the short to medium term,
Right.
our ROE could move from the percentage that we are now
Yes.
to another level.
All right. So in the food distribution industry in Jamaica, there are two big competitor friends.
Yes.
So you have one downtown, and their return on equity is about 6%, and then you have another competitor friend over, Newport West, that their equity return on equity is about 16%. So in terms of Derrick's outlook, so if I only have 1,000 Jamaican dollars, and I have these 3 companies to choose from, and I want to use the Jamaica Stock Exchange as my recipe to grow, but I really like Derrick, give me an idea of just something simple, like even how you use technology or labor to grow my $1,000 over the next 5 years.
All right, let me tell you 2 things,
Yes.
Denise. One, when you're doing the analysis of company, you also have to look at the structure of the company.
Yes.
A company that have different segments within it, in its consolidation, you'll have to be able to dissect that company to see the performance per unit. And I hope when you're speaking to a 5% company, 5% or 6% return, you're looking at the food segment as
Yes.
against the total
Not the finance, just
the
food.
total consolidation.
Yeah.
The 16% company is also a company that is in different fields. It's in manufacturing, it's in pharmaceuticals, it's in technology, so you also have to second. Derrick, I can speak to Derrick because I know where we are going.
Right.
I know the things that we will have to do for our critical success. I know our critical success.
Right.
We're driven by one, and I've said it to a diversification of our revenue stream. So we're edging against foreign exchange movement.
Right.
2, we're employing the best talent that will allow us to move the different elements of the business to where we know we must be in the next 5 to 10 years. 3, we would have segmented our business, so we're manufacturing, We're in distribution. We control our destiny in retail, and we continue to expand in retail. We also are doing the expansions, and we are retweaking what we need to retweak within the US market,
Right.
so that it will allow as the platform for branching up.
All right. So thank you. So just to wrap up, you're saying, as I invest in you and through the stock exchange and staying in Jamaica and getting international exposure, not just as a food person, but also as an investor.
And I will say this. In banking, we speak to mutual funds, and we speak to diversification. Their money is a mutual fund in Jamaica.
I'd just like to add one short sentence to that. Different companies are in different stages of their growth. Jamaica, Derrick is in a rapid growth stage. So you have to put that in the pot also. Some of the companies you mentioned are mature, and so you'll get it's a different dynamic. You know?
Mr. Derrick, this question is for you.
Yeah.
You spoke about coming up with new ideas.
Speaking to the mic, please. I'm not hearing you properly.
You spoke about coming up with new ideas and wanting to put our item or product out on the market. And I know a big part of doing that is product testing. Now, my question to you is, how have you dealt with the whole aspect or the whole process of doing product testing with the public before you have actually placed that product out on the public to go?
Okay. What do you call product testing, first of all?
Product testing, necessarily just testing your product before you have put it out in the public. So you have tested it with persons within the industry. You have make sure that it is approved by specialists before you have placed it out there.
Okay.
So
You're talking about the finished product, including the packaging, right? Not just the.
not just the, or you would say a prototype, but not necessarily the whole packaging, but the product itself before it is sent out. For example, a small example, a piece of cake or a cake.
Yes, so I ask you specifically. I want to be very specific in my answer, but I'll answer you both ways. When you make your product, and this is now, the product is everything, right? So, anybody know about the water inside here?
There's one right there, Ian.
All right. So, this is the product, right? But the contents is also the product, right? So, first thing you have to make sure the contents is good, right? And you want to make sure the product tastes good, so whichever way you want to taste it, whether you're going to have panels, there's different ways. You have professional ways of doing it. You have test panels, and these people taste buds supposed to be better than other people taste buds. But if it's a children product, please let the children taste it, and not the parents, right? Because they ultimately is the ones going to consume the product. You'll also have people in the family. Like for example, I'll tell you, if I'm going to do any product that I'm going to bring onto the market, my mother has to taste it. My mother has to taste it. She's just the best at tasting. She's going to taste things that, and she's 75. I don't know if she still tastes so well. Right? But my mother is one of my best tasters. But you can have a panel of tasters, and the teacher that you take, I'm sure, right? Right? Yeah. So that's one of the professional ways to do it. But the product is all of this. The packaging, the label, what does the label say? The look and feel. When you break this seal, it lets air into the product, and so the shelf life of the product begins to go down. How does the product seal? So it's when you're going to test, it's not just testing the ingredients. You have to test the packaging. You have to test the product to see the shelf life. There's a whole if something is going to have a 2-year shelf life, you're not going to make it and put it down somewhere for 2 years. There are ways and means of doing tests that you can go through a rapid aging process. So this is all part of testing the product. But I'm going to tell you something, guys. And just remember, I tell you this. After all the tests, if you really believe in the product and it doesn't come off so great in the test, try it still. There are a lot of products that fail the test and still go the way. Yeah. But don't be dogmatic. Listen to what the people are saying. Right? Don't be dogmatic, and if what they say makes sense, make the changes. But I'm telling you, I've known people that just test, instead of testing for 10 years. And they never start. Right? Did I answer your question? Oh, thank you. Yes.
Good afternoon. To a young person starting a company and interested in acquiring brands, would you recommend taking on building brands, or taking on brands in beta stages, or rebranding brands that already exist?
If you're just starting,
Right.
what kind of business are you?
Just holistically, any young person starting a company and just interested in diversifying their revenues, wanting to go down that field.
I'll say all of the above. There's no one way. There's no one road to success. You can do all three. But understand brand and brand building. And I'll be honest, if I have any regret in my life, is that I didn't take brand building seriously enough earlier. I know the value of brand building, but sometimes we can get on the sidetrack. It's very important that you build your brand, right? But you may need other brands to help you to get along the way. So for example, we needed, and we are very grateful that we could have companies like Nestle who partner with us, and we could be associated with a brand like that, and we learned a lot from them. But we're doing a lot of concentration on our brands now. The Lecter, Refresh, Spicy Hill, Arosa, those are our brands now, and we're going to do a lot of heavy lifting. Even Grace Kelly, you're all too young to know when Grace Kelly was not the #1 brand in Jamaica. Yes, it was such a time. When Grace was, you don't, none of you remember. Don't nod your head like you remember because you're not old enough. It was back in the 60s. And none of you have been adults in the 60s. You're all very young people. But there was a brand called Eve. Actually, it was bigger than Grace at the time. So, you know the brand Eve, but you never know it's bigger than Grace. You didn't know. I'm telling you, you didn't know. You're not old enough to know, okay? But it was the biggest brand. But Grace, back in the 70s, in the early 70s, did some things that a lot of people thought was crazy, but it worked. And I'll tell you what it is, because I'm not afraid of sharing knowledge. Most of you have heard about the 70s. A few of you have lived the 70s. But the 70s are a rough time in Jamaica. There was very little imports. There was a lot of political issues. At the time, yes, austerity. But a lot of people, just like with COVID, decided to just close ranks and did nothing during that time. Grace did the opposite. Grace advertised when they didn't have product to advertise. And when the election was held by 75, 76, that election was held, there was a little bit of ease of tension, but it started again. But the Grace brand, because it became ingrained in our minds, became the big brand by the late 70s, and then the 80s, and the rest is history. I mean, it's hard to topple them, And they started off with that unusual strategy. They decided to grow their brand when there was the product available. You have to believe in yourself to do things like that. So, I'm saying yes, brand building is very important. Your brand and the brand image, and remember, you represent your brand. So young people, be careful what they put on social media, right? Social media is a real place. It's not a real place, right? It's a made-up place, right? But it can have real consequences. Okay, so you are your brand, and your image is very important. So, for example, I'm going to tell you to do like me. I don't post on social media, but that's just me. I have the Derrick brand to protect. If I don't post at all, nobody can complain about my post. It's impossible to complain about a post at all because I just don't post. I'm not saying you should do that. But make sure you're posting responsibly. You know, remember that you have your brand to protect. Yes.
Alright, good.
Okay. My question is, how easy it is for an unestablished person to get their product out there?
An unestablished person?
Yeah, easy like.
Not easy, but not impossible.
But not impossible.
Yeah, a lot of people do it. You have to work. One of the things that Ian never tell you is that he is one of the hardest working person in the world. Right? You have to just decide to work hard, roll up your sleeves and work hard. Knock on the doors. And I'll tell you something, if you believe in your stuff, eventually people will give you a chance. And once you get that crack in the door, no let go. You get in there and you just do your thing. Right? But it's true. It's one that I've to be kind of down and down because I work too hard.
Alright, good afternoon. So for me, we have often heard that friendship and business don't work, family and business don't work.
Yeah.
I heard you mention that you got a kick in as you said, and now he is your best friend. Now, what do you say to persons who often tell us friendship and business don't mix, family and friendship don't mix? But when you look at your company, we're seeing growth and we're also seeing two best friends. What are some of the things that you do to keep business and friendship different?
Actually, we don't know.
You're not friends?
No, business and friendship is not different. It's the same thing. Let me say something to you guys, and I'm being real. You see, if you are a selfish person, whether it is your friend or not, you're going to have problems. Okay? You have to concentrate on working on you. If you want to grow a business, you cannot be selfish. Right? And we see all the company, but Kim at the back there just joined us, and I'm sure she was wondering, why is it almost every decision I bring Ian into it? But it's easier if we all come together and make the decision together. So we don't have to, get into quarrels as to whose department is this and who's more senior to the other person and all that kind of nonsense. Right? There's a myth that business and friendship don't work. No, it depends on who you are. It all depends on you. If you want to be the good friend that you are, be the good friend that you are. Nothing is wrong with that. Yeah, nothing is wrong with that. Right? Ian is my best friend. And as my business partner, we don't have no problem. Of course we have disagreements. Yeah, but we resolve them. Yeah. Right?
But it will be resolved in the room.
Yeah.
It will not, listen, Derrick's office is there, and mine is there. And it's strategically placed there, across each other. Right? Many times you'll see the two of us. But the truth is, I've always said something. I said, other than my best friend, he's my boss. He's the CEO, I'm the CFO, and I have a responsibility to protect him at all times. And that's how I live. And that is the same principle I've also used with my other colleagues. But Derrick and I, it has proven that when you bounce off a matter, you always come with a better decision. It worked. It worked. And this territorial thing and this little box in the room, nah.
My wife works in the business. She's a head of HR. We don't say to her everything, but we brother with it. Occasionally I remind her that I'm the CEO. Don't tell her. My daughter works in the company. You see, it really depends on you, you know what I mean? I've got friends who come in the company and they want to do some things in particular. We said, no, we can't leave that way, and then they vex and they leave. We're still friends, it's not a problem. This thing that family can't work, that's madness. Am I right or correct?
Right or correct?
I did that deliberately.
But you know, the other thing is,
Yes, sir.
1 second there, the other aspect to it. You see, when you buy into a vision for something, and you create a platform, you agree on that platform, you must be proud enough, and you must be proud, and you must take a proud approach to ensure that you work towards achieving that vision. And since that is the ultimate goal, your personal inner feeling and your emotions and things from the heart, sometimes you have to think from the head. Many times. When you start to think from the head and start to look at things rational, all of those things, when Derrick Cotterell and you just come off of my office and say, wow, Reginald, where are you for lunch today? That's it. Many times we share the same soup for lunch. That's what it is.
I want to share one more thing about that, because it's important. If you're the head of the organization, you need to be humble. And listen to everybody. You must be willing to listen to everybody. I'm not saying what I'm saying, but at least listen. Right? Give everybody a listen here. And so people will not feel that they can't speak to you. Right? And every organization has rules and regulation, and it goes for you too, who is the boss. In fact, it goes for you more than anybody else. So you can't say there's one set of rules for me and one set of rules for other people. That's going to cause problems. Right?
Okay, so I have an investment question as well. So, do you guys do dividend payout? If you do, how much percent is it? And if not, like, how soon do you guys plan to do that?
Alright. We have different companies, but all companies that are publicly traded have a dividend policy. CFF have a maximum of 30% per annum, and we have paid dividends every year. But CFF is not in the level of growth mode that Derrick is in. Derrick have paid dividends 3 times already since you have listed in 2013. However, when you look on your return on your equity, you would have bought, if you were one of those shareholders who came in and bought in at 20 cents. $2, right? And today we are trading at 20, we would have peaked at $40. It shows where your return is and the value in the share. Plus,
remember, it's split by 10.
It's split by 10.
So you'll see it's still at $2 something, but you get 10 times the amount of shares you have.
Plus, if you're one of those initial investors, you would have bought when the company revenue structure was from 2 main sources at a revenue of $2 billion. Today we are running about 22. We'll soon be 24 or 25 billion dollars with multiples. So you can put maths to it, you will understand. Plus, if you look within the company structure, there are a lot of companies that are prime for listing.
Let me say this, guys. As an investor, you look at 2 things for returns. You look at dividends, and you look at capital gains. Right? Now, there are some companies that you're going to get great dividends from. I'm going to just say one to you. That's always known for that. That's a cigarette company, for example. You want to get great dividends from it. That's a mature company, and they have X amount of profit, and they want to give X amount to the shareholders.
Cash.
Because they have this cash, they're not in any growth mode. Derrick is in strong growth mode. So a lot of the cash that we have, we reinvest in the business to make it bigger. That will give you stronger capital gains. So you'll get, from Derrick, you're going to get more capital gains than dividends at this stage of our lives as we grow the company. So I want to fix the expectations. It's not that we won't pay dividends, but our dividends will never be as strong as some of those more mature companies that are just sitting on a bag of cash and just want to give you cash. But you're going to get a lot from capital gains. Right? Any more questions? We have other presenters. We don't want to monopolize the time. If you have any more questions. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Derrick. Thank you very much. Still in the family, we're moving to Lisa Watson, who's a director.